Check, check, check. This is the sound of the live stream. We are just trying to figure out if all sound is coming through correctly. Thank you very much. See you in a bit, guys.
Oké, gooi maar licht erbij. Thank you for joining the Film Impact online session. I'm Jaap Haramburov, the founder of Film Impact. Joining me today is Henk van der Velden, our in-house video editor. And he is the creative behind these social media videos. So what can we expect from today's session? We'll dive into Premiere Pro and demonstrate some of the key features that Film Impact offers. We'll also discuss the best ways to use these features to enhance your editing workflow. Film Impact Library has grown significantly over the years, and we're excited to share what's new. Feel free to ask questions in the comments, and we'll try to address them during the session. And we've also planned Q&A at the very end. So one of the first questions that came in is, why use video effects and video transitions in the first place? Henk, how would you describe why you would even use video transitions?
I would say video transitions and effects are tools to enhance your videos and to tell a better story. And every transition, every effect has a different meaning, a different vibe that adds to your video. So it enhances your video and enhances the storytelling.
Exactly. So video effects and video transitions are storytelling elements. And you know, choosing one particular transition or effect will say something about the video. And in general, you could say it's all about brightening up the mood, unless you want to do a horror story, that's of course. So what I want to do is dive into Premiere Pro and see what we've got. All right, so going into Premiere Pro right now, I have a video clip here ready. And in general, this shot is overall very good, but if you want some extra vibe, some additional colors, that will really brighten up the mood. One of my favorite video effects is the light leak effects. And Film Impact transitions and effects are available in your effects library. And I'm gonna look for light leaks. And what I can see is a light leak video transition and a light leak effects. Let's drag and drop it onto the clip. And it automatically adds this colorful addition to the scene. And going to the Effects Controls tab right here, if you haven't opened it yourself, hit Shift 5, and that will open up this particular tab. And you'll find all the parameter controls here. And this can be intimidating. So at the very top, you have the Surprise Me button, and it's right here. And what it does, it takes a random iteration of this effect, and you can just choose one of the things that you love. And what I like is a warm and bright effect. So you can go back in time using the undo feature. So Command Z or Control Z for Windows will take you back in time, and playing this back will add these colors. And that's for adding drama. Here's another clip that you can use. And if you want to brighten up the mood, because that's important, especially when you're doing promotional videos or event videos. Let's add volumetric grays so we can emphasize that window. Again, go for the effects library and look for volumetric, and it's already there, volumetric grays effects. And what I'm going to do, just drag and drop it on the clip. And immediately, you get that spark of energy. Again, going to the Effects Controls tab. Here's the volumetric grays. And you can see the crosshair coming up. And this is the particular light position. If you drag this, see how the light works along with it. And again, play with the Surprise Me. and that will quickly explore the effect. And this one I particularly love. See how this works, and see how this works with the footage as well. So adding that spark of energy, that sets your video apart from a video that might be, give it that extra spark, give it that extra energy. Hank?
Yeah. Next to, well, what you said, brightening up the mood, you can also apply focus to your shot. And here I got a screen recording, and if we're going to play it, you can see it's pretty smooth. It's plain, and I'm animating over it. But you can see that it's pretty cluttered. So on the right side we have some text, on the left side we have this timeline, and you want to get some focus here to my cursor. Now what we can do is go over to the effects, and let's look for the focus blur effects, drag it on to the clip, and right, you can see that the edges are getting blurred, but because it's a plane, because it's flat, I want to go over to the effect controls, scroll down, and instead of focus type, instead of point, I'm going to choose tilt shift, so that's going to be a horizontal bar, or if we adjust the angle, you can see in the overlay that we got those stripes over there, which indicates where the focus is going to be. So now it's vertical, and we're going to lower the height, so it's narrower. We are just a feather, so it's just right outside the screen. And as you can see now, there's lots of focus here. There's a nice blur going on. You can almost not read the text on the right, which is good. So your eyes are going to focus on the text all the time. So that's good. We can adjust the chromatic aberration. We can adjust the gain a little bit. So if we're going to pop the gain up, you can see it's already bright over here. We don't want that. Maybe just a little bit of softness. And now if we play it, we got a lot more focus on what we talked about in the middle of the screen capture. But there's more you can do for focus. We also have vignette. And these are the effects I usually apply to when I'm building the social content. I really want you guys to focus on what I'm animating. So here we got vignette. You can already see that on the sides you can see a little bit of black going on here, and it's a little intense, so we're going to play with that. I'm going to adjust the width and the height, and now it's really dark, but we'll adjust the feather over here, so just outside the screen, and then we can play with the vignetting, just dial it back a little bit, and then we got some nice focus on this screen capture, really in the center of the shot. You can see what I mean. You're not being drawn to the edges of the screen, which is really good.
Got it. So as a video editor, you're in control of the video and where the attention needs to be grabbed. And having a vignette or a focus blur that softens the edges really gives that focus. So tell me about your favorite video transitions, because these are video effects.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to choose between the transitions because there are a lot. And but I really like the basics. So I really love, for example, the push transition, which is kind of an old effect, but it always works. So we're just going to apply a push transition to these clips over here. I got some woodworking going on here. And if we apply the push, you can see that it's slowly going to the right. Maybe a little slow, so we'll get a little faster. I like a little fast push. And now we can play, if we go over to the effect controls, we can really play with the curve graph. That's one of the key features, I think, of Film Impact, is that you can have so much animation controls here. And I like a 6644, that's always a nice curve. And I use 66 because it's like the same key twice. Instead of 60, you have to look for where you type.
Exactly. Faster editing.
Faster
Just-
editing, yeah.
Okay, cool.
And now you can see slow in, fast out. It's a nice push. And then you can always play with the blur amount, with the chromatic aberration even. So if we're going to look over here, so in between here, if you can see what the chromatic aberration does, it really gives those vibrant colors here, which is affect you.
It's sparking.
Yeah, it's sparking.
It
so
gives that additional colors that you sometimes after.
exactly.
So the curve really emphasizes the move. I particularly love an acceleration curve that would be 2000. Just see how
Alright.
that works. It's just giving that accelerated look.
Here we go. 22 and 100, and it's bam.
There you
and
go.
Slowly out. Yeah.
So fast in, slowly out.
Yeah, that's also a nice one. And you can see, and it's different from which shots you have. Sometimes you have a shot where there's already movement, and then you want to emphasize that movement with a push. So it's nice, it's going along with the movement. Now you have two static shots, so it's more like you can do more with the animation curve here. Another transition I really like. Here I got some shots from Paris, not my vacation. And I'm gonna apply the plateau wipe, and it's really an elegant wipe. And I'll show you what I mean. Normally a wipe is just like going over the screen, but here you can see there's depth in it.
Yeah, there's a subtle feeling of 3D
Yeah.
because the layers are coming towards you.
Yeah.
Now I would suggest, trying to reverse this
Yeah, that's
particular transition. And the reason why is that I'm a big favorite of the golden hour. So at the very top, you've got those beautiful, bright yellow colors, and I want to get them in as quickly as possible.
Yeah, right. That's better. Yeah, and you can also see if in the end of the transition, you can see that there's a lot of movement going on the left, which kind of makes you want to focus on the left. So if we're gonna pull down the lift from clip A, because clip A is actually
Outgoing clip.
outgoing clip.
Got it.
So we're gonna push that to like 50, and now you can see this is less animating. So here we go.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And what's also nice about these two shots, which was a happy accident, if you look closely, you can see that the van here is actually being crossed over to the boat, which actually
yeah.
kind of makes it a match cut or something. So it has a nice feel to it that it's kind of the same shot in a way. So it's like a river and
Got
something moving. So that's nice.
Now you get the text on top of it. Are you able to apply the transitions to text as well?
Yes, and it's really nice. If we're still looking at the plateau wipe is great for text animation. So if we're gonna apply it here to the text,
Got it.
you can really see that it's coming in a nice,
It's
easy.
gracefully.
Yeah,
it's a very graceful reveal there.
And then you can still play with the. If we're gonna go over to the settings, you can play with the animation angle. And if we're gonna put it like to 90 or 45 or 180, sorry.
There you go.
Here you go.
And I like more time for this effect.
Yeah,
That will lower the pace and get a more graceful feeling there. And I guess you could still use a push, right? Because every Film Impact video transition is very good with working with transparency. So a lot of the video transitions that are scene-to-scene transitions can be applied as video transitions as like text reveals as well.
Exactly. So we can just apply the push transition here just for an example. And of course, you can play with the, here we go, let's see how fast it is. So now it's coming from the right. I actually want to have it come from beneath. Here we go.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And now you can see that the background and the text is both revealing something, what really gives it an
Exactly.
animated feel. That's
You know, and as a video editor, I would try, you know, always when looking at your video, there's a lot happening now. So you got a scene transition, scene to scene transition, and you got the text. I would do either one or the other. So first do a scene to scene transition, and then reveal the text. And to keep things in a pace, I mean, as a video editor, this is rhythm, this is timing, right?
Yeah, right. So you can, of course, you can move stuff around, and I really like that there are native transitions. So they just move with the clips, and it's yeah.
Got it. And controlling the timing just by dragging that video transition is amazingly clever, because it will.
Yeah,
You don't have to work with keyframes, and I have a lot more going on. No longer needing those keyframes anymore.
exactly.
So one question that we had was when to use what kind of video transition. And you know, that depends on a lot of factors, but it would be nice to have a visual way of exploring the transitions. And when I go into Premiere, you know, having the effects listed right here is useful, but having an added dashboard that will help us how particular video transitions work, or video effects. Let's do video transitions. Here you get a quick example of how things work and how things would look like. So sometimes you want to have that quick flash, sometimes you just want to have a clock wipe, and that will explain that like time has passed, right? So every transition here has a meaning, and therefore is either a good fit or a bad fit for your video.
And sometimes you just don't know which transition
Exactly.
you want to apply. And you want some kind of visual way to like go over the library and see like get inspired.
Yeah, get the spark.
Yeah, and that's what I love about this panel, that you can just scroll over the panel and just like you're looking at the transitions and like, oh, which transition could I apply to this piece of footage? And then you're getting inspired like, oh, a clock wipe could work, and maybe I can use some settings to, and that's why we put in a few different examples. So for instance, the clock wipe here, you can see a few examples of how you can use the clock wipe. And that's really like to spark your creativity and see like this is also possible with this transition.
Exactly. You know, and sometimes just working with art footage would get you to use a video transition that is kaleidoscope. And when you have a lot of glass or mirrors in your scene, look for mirror effect, and that would be something different and could really work for your video. Now, when we want to edit faster, you know, a lot of times I had clients that say, okay, you now got the job, but the work needed to be done yesterday. So there's a lot of time pressure on a video editor in general. And, you know, having that problem and no longer needing to work with keyframes could save you a lot of time. Here's a clip here, and it looks good, growing plants here. But if you want to do a quick grow, you would normally have to mess with the keyframes. I had to press Shift-5, going up to the controls, go to the motion, set a keyframe for scale, go right here, open up the keyframe editor, apply some kind of scaling here, and then you probably need to do the same thing for the position. And you know, this is actually a lot of time just to create a simple grow effect.
And then if you shorten your clip,
yeah,
the keyframes go out of your clip and your
exactly.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a mess in timing. So let's undo, and see how that works. Let's remove the keyframes altogether. Here, right there. Have it reset. There you go. No. So it worked at 50%. There you go. So what I'm gonna do now there's a grow effect sitting right in the effect. So grow effects, drag, drag, and boom, you're ready. It starts growing automatically. And again, selecting the clip, going over to the Effects Controls tab, you can just change the anchor and put the focus on where you want it to be. And as you can see, the grow is endless and it's continuous. And it just keeps growing at a current frame rate of 5% growth per second. Now, there's another option here that would say, let's do a destination. So you can do an initial scale and a target scale, and that works for the entire clip duration here. So going from a 50 to 150 duration, there you go. So it's actually starting smaller. Let's do 100. There you go.
I really love the destination mode. It's the one that has the most control.
Exactly. So you know exactly what you're doing. But just having a continuous grow really works when doing a Ken Burns effect, where you get one thing to grow and another clip to shrink, and you dissolve the two together. That'll work seamlessly. So another way to avoid having keyframes is to have moving objects. And in my example, I'll just work with the Film Impact logo. And when you're doing a corporate video, you sometimes want to do start with the logo and then keep the logo around. I'm going to do a quick cut here and move the logo, make it a little bit smaller, and move it to the upper left corner. Maybe even do opacity. There you go. And what I'm going to do now is look for motion tween and drag and drop it and see what happens out of the box. There you go. And that's really out of the box behavior. So it makes the tween from one position to another and even applies that reduced opacity here. And again, select the video transition, head over to the Effects Controls tab, and now you have all these options. Again, you can play with the curve, have an acceleration curve, or add an overshoot curve. Let me lower this and do an exaggerated overshoot here. And this is too much for the video, but you'll get the general idea. I'm going to give this transition more time to breathe. There you go. And if you find the amount of motion blur too much, just dial it back. And there's a lot of options here. Even add rotation. Let's do let's give me some more width here. Y-axis rotation, just one there. See how that works. And now what? You delivered your video, and your client says, well, we don't normally use the upper left position for a branding element. We always keep it to the lower right. Okay, here's what you're doing. If you had done this with keyframes, that would be a mess, right? But let's take this object and put it on the lower right side. There you go. And that's how it works. Motion tween just follows the position. And it works with the motion controls here under video.
And it saves you a round trip to After Effects.
This is a round trip to After Effects. And again, you can do anything, add multiple rotations. There's a lot to play with. Another cool thing, and Premiere Gal, by the way, uses this a lot in her videos. She has explanatory videos. And so here's a girl doing a podcast. And sometimes you want to do those quick zoom in effects. And what I'm going to do is just apply a cut, select the right side, and do a scale in, reposition her, and make her face nice on screen there. So the left side is a long shot, and well, a long shot, but this is one just a little bit closer, right? Just add motion tween. it was good, but something happened. We've got black bars happening here. So Motion Tween works with the image information from this side, from the left side of the transition and the right side. And here's an option, fading out. And there's a cool option that's hidden inside the plugin, and it says, it's a preset, it says recover out of screen image data. And now the plugin combines the image data that is both on the left side of the video transition and on the right side of the video transition. And now you got a perfect and clean zoom in there. And if you want to do a power, like more quick, again, if you had done this with keyframes, it would be a mess because you're messing with timing. But now, since it's a video transition, all you need to do is drag the handles and make it powerful.
And you get the animation curve.
And you get the animation curve. Again, you could do the power zoom. So 20, 100, there you go. See what happens. There you go. And that's exciting.
And this is like almost undoable with the keyframe editor in Premiere.
I mean, that wouldn't work. I mean, that would be a waste of your time, and we all want to get home at some point of the day to our kids and family. So again, going back, same thing. I'll just reset the scale here and reset the positioning. Sorry, that would be 50. There you go. And all I can do, and this is a cool trick, by the way, you can copy and paste a particular video transition along with all the parameter settings. Just hit copy, select the other transition, and hit paste. And there you go. Going back, that's it. So let me check if questions are coming in.
There was a nice question about the vignette effect.
Oh, wow.
And if you can make it blue, and only spill on the sky, etc. And I'd love to show you a little trick about the vignette, because you can't actually give it a color in the effect, but if we're gonna create a new color mat here, and let's do blue, there we go, and let's place it behind this footage. And we're going to apply the vignette effect to the footage. Now you can see it's black. We're going to give it more room so you can see it better. So we're going to
sure. Can you show, because the vignette is doing either black or white.
Yeah. So if we're going to pull the vignette, 100% is black. If we're going to minus 100%, it's white. Sure. But if we're going to, we have an opacity slider, and if we're going to pull the opacity slider to 0, it's going to be opaque, and then we have the color behind the footage
that's coming
giving
up.
it color.
So yes, colorization is done with a secondary layer.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Oh wow, let's do more keyframes.
Let's do more keyframes.
Because we have a motion graphics tool set. You know, working with keyframes, I would avoid it, especially if you have a suite like Film Impact at your service. So what I have here are two guys, and they're tucked in 2 layers. So layer 3 and layer 2. And there is a set of animations here, and I'm opening up right here. And for this particular reveal of these graphic objects, I love to use a flip motion impacts transition and just apply it to the effect. See what happens out of the box. There you go. Let's put that one behind so we can focus on the guy on the left. We can give it a little bit more room to breathe there. There you go. And what this plugin does, it automatically detects where your image is positioned. So right there. And the reason I'm saying is there's a center control, and now you can see the plugin that has automatically isolated the element. And what I did, I was placing the center totally to the left, and that will give that effect. So it will become like a door, right? So copy and paste the transition to the guy on the right, and now do a reversed center. There you go. You've got one guy opening here, the other guy opening there, and again, we can have some timing overlap and play with it. And again, I find it very helpful if transitions are a little bit misaligned. That emphasizes dynamic motion. And to show you this, I've just perfectly aligned both the elements and see what happens. It's cool because it's doing that movement, but what if one of the transition is just a little bit longer? Now you have this dynamic motion. And again, when looking at the effect, at the transition, you can choose from a bounce to overshoot. And again, let's exaggerate and make the center, just have it reset, make it from the center. I'll just do the same thing here. I'll just copy and paste it, make the transition a little bit misaligned, and there you go. You got a beautiful reveal.
And if you, can you adjust the focus point? Because I really love the way you can see the overlay on
Got
this.
Got it. So the overlay here is exactly where you place the center. Now you have both the elements centered out. And another thing that's cool about this particular transition is check out the motion blur here. And when you change the angle, see the quality of the motion blur. And we're on a laptop, and let me show the sequence. This is 4K on a laptop. And having this quality of motion blur is incredible. We're doing up to 128 motion blur steps. If you would do that in After Effects, your computer probably would explode. But again, here we're sitting, and it's working nice and neatly, and it's doing real-time rendering. So here's another one. I could do, since this is rounded effect, I could do a different set of the animation series. So do a spin motion. Again, let's see how that works. There you go. And maybe do a dissolve next to it. Let's have the film impact dissolve right here. It should be your default. There you go. So now I can apply it with Command D. Did you see what I did? I just right-clicked and say select as default transition. There you go. Make it a little bit more time to breathe, and there you go. And again, video is about timing. Let's have the guy revealed just a little bit later there. And now you got this graceful element.
Check, we can't emphasize it enough, but if you pause halfway look how much motion blur there is there.
That's incredible.
Come on.
Yeah, and we could just add more, because we can. There you go.
That's crazy.
And again, real-time playback. So that's something we're proud of, and it will help to have you deliver your videos faster. Okay, here's another one, just a quick one. This is actually being used by the WWF organization, and let's do a fold. And a fold is very nice here. There you go. Let's give it a little bit more room to breathe. Double click, add 200 for 2-second animation. There you go. And again, you could do, since the fold is not on the line here, just select the transition and you can adjust it easily, because you have that neat little bar that will help you set it to the exact correct position. And there you go. It's a fold animation, and it will help you to produce more and higher quality videos. So ultra-fast rendering, bring your ideas to life without leaving Premiere Pro. And that's what we are about. And I just saw a question coming in, will you do Resolve? Yeah, that's a question we get a lot. There's a lot of planning that goes ahead of that. We're actually in the working of, but it takes more time than we thought it did. And you know, keeping up with the changes of Premiere Pro, we wanted to do our very best here, but yes, we have plans for Resolve, and it's coming hopefully soon next year. Okay.
You heard it here. Let's go over the text reveals.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of options for text reveals in Premiere, and there are multiple ways to use text. So here I got the text tool in Premiere, so I can edit this text if I want. And I want to reveal this text, and I'm going to use the typewriter transition. Typewriter. I'm going to drag it over here. And what it does, it sees that there are characters, and it reveals it as though it is typed. But there are a lot of options for this transition, and one of the neat things is that there's a caret. And what is a caret? That's that thing, that blinking thing you have, like in Word and stuff. And we can give it a delay and give the color, maybe the color from the logo over there. Come on. Oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah, that'll work.
And let's see what it does now. Okay, and now I want some blinking going on. So we're going to go with blinks on 5. Now let's play it again. Shift spacebar. Now it's blinking at the end. That's nice. And we can go crazy with this caret, which is, it's nice if you really want to have options what you can do. So we can change the width of this thing, make it a big box, lower the height, and even low offset where it is. And now if we play it, this might be the look you want, might be the look you're looking for. So that's how you can reveal text with the typewriter effect. And you can see there are a lot of other options. So dive in and play with this transition.
Have fun.
Have fun, yeah.
Try to do something different.
Yeah, and of course you can use the surprise me effect also. So you can just keep playing and hit surprise me. Let's lower this so we can see. And if we have loop playback on, it will just keep playing and hit surprise me. We get a different effect. And that's how you can swap through the different kind of typewriter effects.
Sometimes even adds another line to the cursor.
And goes from the other side, so it's also
RTL,
right.
left to right, right to left.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But another way, because sometimes you just have text from an image, like a PNG. This is a PNG, a multi-line text from Photoshop. So it's just it's like a text file, but it's I can't edit this. I can't edit this text. But what the brilliant minds at Film Impact did was actually, if we're going to use the what I want to use,
text animator.
Text animator.
Yeah, let's do it.
Text animator. And it will actually detect, and I think the first time I saw this, I thought it was, come on. It actually detects.
Just show it.
It detects, it detects the characters from a PNG and actually allows you to animate those.
Yeah, exactly. Let me explain. So the plugin is detecting each character one by one based on transparency, and then works with those separate characters and animating them one by one. And it can even detect like multi-lines. So, and that really gives you a quick way to emphasize text. You know, text can be boring for videos, but this way things get playful.
Exactly, and if we're going to hop over to the effects controls panel and click the text animator, there are even a few presets which we can choose. So if we could choose a normal fade, it will fade in multi-line.
Got it. I'm a big fan of the natural scale preset.
Natural scale. There we go.
Yeah, I think that was very easy on.
Yeah.
Yeah. One important thing that I find interesting to play with is the timing, and not just selecting the transition timing, but play with the distribution.
Here we go.
If you would increase the distribution and have it at a full 100, all the letters will animate nearly at once. And having lower distribution, I think that's variation. Yeah.
Oh, that's variation. Sorry.
Variation gives like a different timing to each separate character, which is fun. But having like corporate videos, they usually need to have left to right, right to left kind of text right there.
Yeah. And again, we can play with the surprise me and get all kinds of effects.
Yeah.
On your text.
Oh, that was just hit Command Z. This one.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have thought of that, but that might just work and spark that energy on your videos.
And now the settings for this particular effect are, of course, in the transition. So now you can refine the transition, refine this effect.
Can I say, let's not refine. I'm so excited about this particular effect. And I saw a question coming in, can you save this particular instance, like the way that the parameter controls are right now? I want to keep it and have it as a branding element. I want to be able to reapply this particular instance, even though I hit that surprise me button. How do I do that?
That's a good question.
Right click.
Right click on the effect, save preset, and it will save
hit it.
This exact, everything you just included. You can include the transition timing, give it a name, like
my new branding.
Yeah, my new
branding text reveal.
Text reveal.
Even give it a description, and you can optionally add the transition duration. So next time when you apply it and you would given it 4-second duration, it would reapply and give it that 4-second duration. And that really helps you out.
So if you're going to use this for like a lower thirds, you're going to apply it
you're going to be
every time.
Instantly. Yeah. So, and where are you going to find that particular preset?
If you go over to effects, you have on the top you have presets with this star. If you open it, you see my new branding text reveal, and that's going to
and you can just drag and drop it.
Yeah.
Even use it as a conceal, so at the edge of the right edge of the video transition. Yeah. So that way you can have the text concealed.
Yeah, there you go.
And that works great as well.
Exactly.
So one of my favorite tools are these smart tools, and that's Shapeflow. And that's one of the cool things that we have right here. Shapeflow is real-time path detection. And what do I mean by that? The ideal example is to have a spiral, and whenever you want to reveal a spiral, it would be nice if it was revealing the spiral in a way that a spiral has been drawn. So let's apply Shapeflow and see what happens out of the box. Just drag, drop, and I'm going to give this transition more time to breathe. There you go. And now it's growing. There you go. It's starting right here, which is interesting. Let's see if we can change that. And of course we can change that because we can change the center point. And whenever we drag, we get to see the entire element and see what happens. And now you can see that this transition is revealing this particular spiral in the correct way.
Yeah, but because you would have thought maybe that even the top would be a broken object, but it's really looking at the flow of the object and it's really going with it. That's just great. Yeah,
exactly. And what I can do, I can actually lock this point. I will always want this particular transition to start right here, but also play with the Surprise Me button. And see how this works. See how this brings additional colors to the scene. And of course, you're able to change these colors. See how this works. Again, you can... Here's where to change colors, change the intensity, add more colors. We can do a single tone, duotone, quad, whatever. You can add up to 5 colors and have it as a trail right there. And either emphasize those colors or do on and off. So turn the second color off, have the third color on, have the fourth color off, and that way you can have a very neat reveal there. So how does this work with a text like welcome? So let me show. So the stripes are the background. And let me enable the text. And what I'm going to do is just copy that transition and hit paste. See what happens right here. There you go. Well, why not have this effect totally reset and just play with the Surprise Me button. There you go. So see, there's some color right here. And this is amazing. And again, you can have the text reveal it using 2 points right here. Let me change that to a single point and start where you would start writing the letters. And again, this is the reveal you got. And you know, you don't need After Effects to do smart animations like these. You just stay within your favorite editing app.
This is a lot of work in After Effects.
This is a lot of, and the cool thing is, you know, you don't need to be exact here. Sometimes just having the point just outside of the word works with that. Oh, this is a beautiful example. Let's reapply shape flow here. And see what happens out of the box. There you go. And again, this is a PNG image working with transparency. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit Surprise Me right here. And just press it a couple of times and see if I found an iteration that has these cool added colors there. Oh, this one is good. Here. And of course, I can change the colors here as well, just adding more warmth to it. Add those warm colors right there. And do a tint or whatever works. Let's do a linear light or an add. There you go. Let's give it more spark. When I select the clip, including the video transition, I can do a nest. And this is the lion nest. And now what I'm going to do is add volumetric rays and see what happens. And again, play with the Surprise Me button. Ooh, this one was interesting. Straight away, it was my second click. There. Now you've got the lion revealing itself in a powerful way. There you go.
That's an awesome effect.
Yeah.
It's also really nice on footage with like a sun, and then you want to emphasize the sun to have it like really the God rays. Come on. So I saw one question incoming about nests, and it's really easy to answer. So if you, there was a question if you can use transitions in nests, and if you have to render the nests first, and no.
The answer is no.
It's a great way to add more transitions and build on your effect and on your, to get like a nest in there, have an animation, keep everything clean, and nest something and then apply more effects to it. It works really well with the transitions and effects. Yeah,
absolutely.
Going over to adjustment layers, it's something we're talking about on the social media platforms a lot because it's a subject that is really powerful and it's a really powerful tool, but you sometimes really have to get your head around what an adjustment layer really is. And an adjustment layer, like we always say, is just a container representing all the layers below. So it trickles down. So this is, on top here is the adjustment layer, and it's actually nothing, but everything underneath is like compact and pushed to the adjustment layer. So I can apply a transition to it, I can apply effects to it, and let's apply a light leak to this adjustment layer. There we go. And now it's just adding, oh, it's really going so fast. Now it's just adding a little bit of spark to the edit and really going before the cut, giving it a little bit of color, giving it a little bit of interest, and like going over to the next shot. So that's just pulling what's underneath the adjustment layer. Like every frame you have to imagine that there's going something down from the adjustment layer, pulling everything up, so compacting the text here with the footage, and then applying the transition to it.
Got it? You know, you're immediately talking about applying video transitions to adjustment layers, which is really not that common, but it's a great way to use the lightly transition as an effect, as a kind of a prelude transition. You know, a common way for adjustment layers would be to apply a generic vignette onto the entire video. So you would add an adjustment layer at the very top layer onto the entire timeline, and just have that single element, that single instance of the vignette effect, and add it to it. It will vignette everything at once. And you're already doing it.
I'm already
right
doing
now.
it, yeah, I'm already doing it. So added the vignette effect to the adjustment layer, and it's going over everything. So going over the text, we're gonna, I'll make the text a little bit bigger so you can see that actually the edges are getting affected here. You can see
exactly.
There's a little bit of vignette going on. I'll adjust the scale here. Here you can see even here we even have some softness here. That's also a feature.
There can be a very subtle effect to add some defocus, kind of a blur effect to the very outer edges. It's just very subtle, but it really works to get that focus.
And I can turn down a vignette, and the softness will still be there, but I can also, if I want to pull down the entire effect, there's a master slider, and if I pull that one down, it pulls all the settings down. So it also pulls the softness down. So it's so if I want a little bit of vignette, a little bit of softness, and I actually got my settings here, which are great, but it's just too intense, you can pull down the master control, and that's a nice way to make some effects more subtle.
Exactly. Whenever you find the master control inside a video effect or video transition, it will reduce the entire impact of that particular video effect. We're working towards the end of the session here, and some questions that keep coming in. One of those is, does your company account for multiple licenses? Yes, we do offer volume licenses. But you know, just like the Adobe licenses, you can use the Film Impact video transitions on up to 2 computers. So just having one single license allows you to activate up to 2 computers and use it simultaneously. Yes, you can share across friends, but I didn't say that out loud.
And are there any plans to add effects for speed ramps?
Speed ramps are do have our focus, because I know it's tedious to work with the timing of speed, and we would love to see that improved. It's on our list, and our list has become longer and longer, but we're planning and scheduling new effects and video transitions accordingly. And we want to have this as a one-stop shop for video effects, and that way you can just dive in, and we're really out there to help you along with your video edits.
Yeah, And I think if you like this live stream and like what we're talking about, I think our social channels are a way to get more inspiration and more explainers. We're doing weekly videos about Premiere, about the Film Impact, transition and effects. If there are questions coming in, we can answer them with a video. If you don't understand something, please send your questions in and we can create content about it.
Exactly. Keep those questions coming in, even after the session is closed. You can also visit our website and do your feature requests right there, and we love to answer that. Again, we're here to help you as a video editor. Thank you so much for watching. On behalf of Henk and the rest of the entire Film Impact team, take care and enjoy your day. Ciao.
Bye, guys.